We're live, Newsday Tuesday. I'm your host, Bill Rome. News updates on the Rome Show with my friend Len Besthoff. Len, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Rome. It is clammy today. It's like 64 degrees out, but whew, oh,
Mother. It's like the perfect weather.
yeah. I mean, I'm dressed a little nice for podcasting here, but if I was just wearing a t-shirt, it'd be okay. But I want to dress up like you. You look very dapper this morning, by the way.
Thanks. Got it. Look good.
No, looks great. Looks great. I think is that salmon, the color of that shirt?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm a
like
little
a, s-
colorblind, so
yeah, it's like a salmon brown.
looks great, Rome. Love it. Love it. If you're only listening, you don't get to see. Rome is always dressed well.
And what kind of blue is that you got on?
I don't know. I don't know. Lindsay, my wife buys me most of my clothes because when I do, mistakes are made.
Right. It's
I
good to
really
have
don't
some
know.
help.
I I, I, I know it's green or blue or something, but that's pretty much as far as I can go. You can tell me what color it is, Rome, because I really don't know.
I would go like a navy blue, I think.
Sold. um, Back when I would wear ties on TV news. You really don't do that anymore. I would have to have Mrs. Besthoff check me before I left for work because I would always mess up the colors. I just, she was angry at me, or I didn't get to see her before I left for work, or she left for work early. Whew, we're flying blind. So, um, yeah, yeah. So that's my answer to that question, Rome. I don't know. I don't know what color this shirt is. I know it's somewhere in green or blue, but that's it.
We'll get it though.
Yeah, it makes it fun. Just a little more adventure to getting dressed in the morning.
So I finally got some rest. Took a couple days and got some rest.
You're smiling, so that's good. That means you did something right.
Yeah, being burnt out is no good.
Nope, nope. I will admit, uh, I am trying to sleep more, failing mostly, but now I'm at least staying in bed for another half hour in the morning. I get up very early as it is, so I'm still getting up early compared to most folks, but not as early. Trying to give myself back 2.5 hours a week, half hour a day. Let's start small. How about you? Were you just resting, or like taking a day off, or how did you beat the burnout?
I took about 3 days, cut down on some things, watch some movies, relax, and try to sleep as much as I can, just for like 3 days.
That's awesome. And you clearly feel better, so it worked.
Yeah, you got to get like 1 or 2 days in, just relax your body.
Well, I will be straight with you. I am running the house by myself this week. Mrs. B is out on a big vacation. You could probably hear the dog barking in the background. So it's the pandalarium at my house these days. But I am trying, when I get home at night, very few chores, just cleaning up, the house, dinner, and that's it. And then I'm just sitting. I'm trying not to, if Mrs. B was here, we might be doing some projects or some planning, but I'm just, like you said, just trying to take it easy, get through the week, and try to beat that burnout because you really need to. I was at a conference last week for investigative reporters, and it was actually one of the sessions they had. I couldn't go, but I would have if I was there. I had left a little early to get back here and take care of the dogs because there was no one here to take care of the dogs. But it was a good session. It's called Investigative Reporters and Editors. It's been around for decades, and it certainly had a big impact on my career. and I support the organization, and I try to go to their annual conferences as often as I can. Learn a lot, and that'll bring us some more stories coming down the line for sure. You just learn different places to look for stories. You get new relationships with other reporters in other cities, and a lot of times you can collaborate on stories in the future, and I do that. So we all do it. And NBC, I will say, is a very good company in many ways, including the way they support their affiliates. And they really try to get us to work together, and they try to be there to help us and give us resources. I will say that for a long time, I worked for affiliates of another network I will not name that was not as supportive. Um, that's unfortunate. But anyway, I digress.
That's a good
Rome, you know what network I used to be with, so we can talk about that offline.
thing. Right. So there's a lot going on. Uh,
Yeah.
I'll start off. I'll start off with a new TV show that my lady
Oh,
she showed me. It's called Spider Noir. It's with Nicolas Cage. Very good.
really?
Yeah, very good. You gotta check it out. It's on Prime.
I got Prime.
Yeah, check it out.
And what kind
When
of show is it?
it's like he's a private investigator, and he plays
Hmm.
like a superhuman, and it's like a spin-off of Spider-Man. Then they have
Huh.
a color version and a black and white version because it's kind of like old school.
Hmm.
It's very good.
I'm gonna have to check that out. And it's called what again? Spider.
Spider Noir, Noir.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I love movies like that, like superhumans and stuff like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed. What were the? No, I can't remember the guy who was in the suit, like he put on that suit and then became the superhero, the corporate guy. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Whatever. But yeah, those kind of movies are good. I
Yeah,
can't I can't I can't punch in your weight class. I'm just not that good with entertainment. Mine is always sports related most of the time, I must admit. And I have to do this week. My entertainment, not my sport, 'cause that's another one. But my entertainment is the Travelers. It is rare that I'm in town when the Travelers happens. Normally, it happens during the week I go to that investigative conference, but this week it got switched. So I don't know if I'm going to get out there, but darn it, I hope an extra ticket floats my way somehow, since NBC is broadcasting the Travelers Championship, so you can catch it on NBC Connecticut. But hopefully, I'll be able to get something. But I don't know. I'm not good enough to be golfing in the Celebrity Pro Am yet, Rome. Maybe another 5 years. We'll see if I get an invite. See if I'm good enough by
one day it'll happen.
then. Mm-hmm. It will. But that is a good segue to sports. And my sport, again, like I am. My parents always said I was very predictable. World Cup. I mean, come on. This has just been fantastic. Have you been catching any of it, Rome?
A little bit. I did pick something about the World Cup. They they made history with host cities in the United States setting a new attendance record. I think the first time they had this many people.
Did the report say which city or all the cities?
I know France was one of them. I should have got more, but France was definitely one.
Yeah, I mean
Philadelphia was one of them.
mm, they're a good
Yeah,
ticket. I know that there's been mixed reports because I guess the prices are very expensive for the tickets, but I guess it depends on the match. I know in New York City, there was a lot of consternation because I guess the ticket to get from just to travel on a train from New York City to New Jersey, I thought I heard, don't hold me to this, but like $100, hopefully round trip. But
right.
I saw some social media post where a guy said, "I'm not paying that. Let's see how long it takes me to walk there from New York City." Took him like 6 hours. Spent $30 on soft drinks and water. So I don't know that that was worth it. But yeah, the games are very inspiring. There's been some really close, exciting ones, and for those armchair quarterbacks like me. If you can get to go to the one of the games, great. I know there have been games at Gillette. To me, my favorite story has been what many have talked about with the World Cup, has been the way that you have all these people from overseas coming and experiencing our country. You heard about the Scottish people that they had a game up in, I think it was at Gillette in Boston,
Yeah.
and or Metro Boston, and I guess they drank so much beer that the Sam Adams Brewery right there in Boston ran out of, I guess their store, whatever, not the brewery, ran out of beer. Yeah, and the social videos of the Scottish, mostly men, having a great time in Boston, and then even going, oh, all right, your dog's barking at mine. Going off from that, um, even international people in other cities visiting our parks, visiting just different cities, and saying what a great country we have. Certainly, I'm not going to get into the politics, but it's been a time when people are not as enthusiastic about this country, perhaps, as they would normally be, especially during a year when it's our 250th anniversary of our founding as a country, or at least signing the Declaration of Independence. So, you know, it's perspective, home. You see people say, what a great country we live in. And yeah, we got issues. We always have them, but it gets you some perspective.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
So much going on.
Hmm.
And speaking of news, so much going on. I know you got some updates.
I do, but we skipped one of the fun things.
We did. Was it the food?
You always have a good food one, Rome. Come on, man.
Yeah, mine is just a salad. I'm trying to be in that healthy one.
Okay. Well, if it makes you feel better, I was away and, I was eating out a lot, which I honestly don't like doing because you end up eating stuff with lots of mayonnaise or oil or salt or too much sugar. And I like to sort of have control over what I eat to at least some degree. But like I said, I was away at a conference. I always try to eat some of the food that's native to that region. So I have a great entry this week. I was in Maryland, right near DC, right on the Potomac. Woo! Crab cakes, baby. Oh, that was the first thing I
Nice.
had. Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. Just breaded, a little bit fried, tartar sauce,
Oh yeah.
dinner of kings and queens. It was oh, they know how to do crab down there. Mm. Most of the time though, I was doing salads just like you, just because that's a lot of going out food, and I don't like all that fried stuff. So I got salad like a chicken uh, Caesar salad, a few Cobb salads. You're always like, do you want to add protein? I'm like, don't you have an egg and bacon on there? I think I'm good on the protein. And that high fat salad dressing you're putting, I'm good on the protein. We're good.
Perfect.
Um, I limited the amount of French fries I had while I was down there. That's you know, one of my things I do that I shouldn't, but I was good. So, news, man, we got news. As much as I want to keep talking about the fun stuff, wild scene in New Haven in the middle of the day, 1:30 in the afternoon on Woodward Avenue, an area that police say they normally don't have a lot of trouble in New Haven. Middle of the day this week, uh, three people were shot, a triple shooting. Uh, Two people ended up dying, very young. I think one was 18, one was 21. What police say is it was not a random shooting. These people were known to each other, so the public doesn't have to be alarmed. However, well, it was a shooting in the middle of the day. People were out running around doing things. That's never good. So New Haven's got its hands full. right now with this case for sure. Other news, like got a lot. This is a crimey kind of day. I'm sorry, Rome, but that's just how it falls some days. A Hartford man was arrested Sunday and accused of stealing cell phones from packages at a South Windsor FedEx facility. If you don't know about this, South Windsor along Sullivan Avenue has a major FedEx kind of facility off the road. You really can't see it, where they load all those delivery trucks and they go out and they do their runs. I don't know if this man worked there. Let's see what else we got here. The South Windsor PD said the charges stem from an incident in February of 2022. So this is a 4-year-old case at a FedEx location in South Windsor. It was an investigation done apparently by FedEx and police, and they determined this 54-year-old man had opened packages, removed cell phones, and then resealed the boxes, according to police. FedEx has not commented on this, but it does sound like this was probably an employee, because just to get access to that facility, I'm not sure how you could do that without working there. One thing I do want to warn your listeners and viewers about is you really got to be careful with that cell phone. I was telling you before, I go to these investigative conferences, and this was a story they talked about probably 3 years ago, but it's still cropping up there without naming services or anything. There are these companies where you can basically go to their, you know, it's run without any people, and you go there and you can drop off a cell phone that you no longer want, and you'll get money for it. So, and I don't know if I can't remember, frankly, if it's automatically dispensed to you or if, they process the phone and then send you something. But I think it's automatically given to you to some degree, but don't hold me to that. I know there's one here in Manchester where they do that, and we've had reports from viewers about, their phone getting stolen, and then police tracked it down to one of these kinds of facilities where you can give a phone and get money. And, again, this is 4 years ago, haven't looked at the affidavits yet, but bottom line is keep an eye on your phone. Certainly, you can't do that if it's getting sent through the mail, but if you order a phone and you don't get it, this is the kind of thing that could happen. So, very interesting story, just caught my attention. And our final story today, this is a sad one, but it's a sign of the times. We talk about all the time how outside of the big tech companies that our economy is not doing very well right now. And one of the headlines I saw in the paper today was talking about how some housing prices are starting to drop in Connecticut, shockingly. We have one of the hottest markets in the country. I believe the article, which was in the Hartford Courant or CT Insider, I'm sorry, I can't remember who to give credit to, but I'll give credit to both of them, said that in Fairfield and Hartford County that prices remain high. However, in New Haven County, they're down roughly 15% on average in a recent period that was being measured. So something's going on there with the economy. Obviously, we know about higher gas prices. Hopefully that this treaty or ceasefire moves on over there, and that won't be an issue going forward, but we don't know. And so what happens when you have the economy start to, run into trouble, and this is really sad, is that people start abandoning their pets. And what happened last week is just one of those cases of this. 2 dogs were found tied to a guardrail at the Interstate 84 East truck stop in Willington. The town's animal control says it is searching for who's responsible. According to Willington Animal Control, the dogs were left with a 30-pound bag of food and water. Now, I've seen the pictures. The dogs looked healthy. There were 2, younger looking pit bulls, but, adults, but younger adults. And what the animal control folks say, of course, is abandoning animals in this manner is unacceptable and raises serious concerns for their welfare. And it's just a heartbreaking story. And I know you've rescued a dog. My wife and I have essentially 2 rescue dogs. And it's a big responsibility. And I'm sure these folks were probably trying to do the right thing, but dogs are expensive, right, Ro?
Oh yeah. Very sad story.
Yeah. Well, let's end happy. How's the training going with your dog? What's your dog's name again?
Bentley. I took a break
Ben.
for a week, but I got to
Yeah.
get back into it this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You've been inspiring to me. I'm working more with mine, just getting them to stay and come and all those silly things that, seem mundane but are really, really important.
yeah, very important.
Well, that's all I got, Roman. I'm actually going to get to my dogs. It's breakfast time. They're about a half hour late. And thankfully, we haven't heard about it yet. But if I keep going, we will.
Correct. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
And
We will
see you
talk with
next
you
week.
next week. Yeah, can't wait. Great to see you. Keep wearing those awesome shirts, man. You look great.
Thank you. You too. See you next week.
All right. Be well, my friend. See you, Rome.
All right. Take it.